What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful, I guess, pre-Christmas Eve. I want to give you a Christmas gift today, and I want to share some of the things that I know about how to understand charts with you guys completely for free. So do me a favor, hit that share button, tell the people that we're live, come learn this. No charge. It's all love around here because the main goal is for you to understand exactly what to see on the chart when somebody drops a signal. So I'm going to give you guys a few things to make it a little easy as we go into 2026. We've been cooking in the Red E Society. If you're in the Red E, put something in the chat. Let us know you made some money today. Stay ready. Put something in the chat. Just let people know how much love is in this place, man. So super glad to have you guys. I didn't come here to preach today. We've already prayed. We've had a word this morning. So we're going to get right to it, man. I'm going to actually share my screen with you guys. We're going to slide right over to Trading View. Let's get this up right now. This is one of the best places for me that I like to personally use when I am charting. Okay. So I'm going to pull up, we'll look at Google since I talked about it on yesterday. We'll pull up Google and a couple things. I'm just going to turn off some indicators, and then we'll talk about some of this other stuff here. But first thing I want to put you guys on is the candle type, and I want to talk about time frames that I personally like to use for day trading as well. So volume candles have historically been one of my favorite type of candles. You can talk about the wicks, the color of the candle, all that good stuff, right? Also we've used Heikenaki. I like that. I can't even say the name of it. We've used these candles before, but here lately I really love the hollow candles because whatever chart time frame that you're looking at, these are so easy to understand. So let me break it down for you guys. The hollow candles are always going to be bullish. All right, the solid candles are always going to be bearish. Now, as far as day trading is concerned, I like to usually look at two time frames simultaneously. Most times, it's probably going to be the 10-minute combined with the 2-minute time frame. Okay. Now, I do check the 6-minute. I don't really look at a lot of odd number time frames, but the 15-minute is great. 5-minute is also great. So if you like to utilize those time frames do work. But understand as well, this isn't financial advice. I just want you to understand the mind of Mark Rogers on this thing. All right. So my sweet spot actually is this 78-minute time frame. And as you can see, just looking at Google, we have a hollow candle. Actually, have several hollow candles, as well as this potential dragonfly. Gravestone doji it looked like a gravestone doji on the 78-minute. But nevertheless, you've got a hollow candle, which is bullish on the 78-minute time frame, which is a good setup for Google to the upside. Okay. Now, this is just one thing that I like to personally use, right? The next thing that I think is very important for you guys is volume. All right. So I'm just going to I'm just going to add all these fresh so you can see the settings and all of that. All right, so I'm going to hit volume. This is just the standard volume on TradingView. All right. I don't know why I did that. All right. So open up some of my other indicators. So here's the volume. Now I'm going to slide back down to that 10-minute time frame. So now we have our hollow candles. Okay. And we have our volume. So I like to be a little different. So I'm going to double click on the volume to open the settings. For the growing or the buy volume, I'm going to make this a baby blue color. All right. And then for the falling volume, I'm going to make it purple. All right. Now, I also like to add something called the volume moving average. Let's do that now. We're going to check this box and we're going to make it yellow. All right. I also like to kind of make it a little thick so it's obvious that you can see it, right? Now that this is here, I don't make any other adjustments to the inputs or the style. Okay. But I want to explain how the volume can coincide with these hollow candles and what you can use it for. All right. So again, the baby blue is bullish. The purple is bearish. Now, one quick thing I want to tell you about this volume is when I see the moving average break over that volume line, that confirms that that trend is actually very strong. Okay. So right now you can see at around 9:30 Eastern this morning, we had a hollow candle on Google pushing Google up. Okay. We also see the volume broke the moving average, but it set the tone for the day. All right. The moving average stayed pretty bullish, and then we had the sellers come in. It broke above the moving average, in which case we saw the candle start to come down here, looking at the volume, looking at the solid candle. All right. And then the buyer stepped back up and it broke that moving average again, which told us that it was a confident trend whenever we see that volume go over that moving average. And we started to push back up here on Google. All right. Once again, sellers came in, but the volume never broke that moving average at that time. All right. And then it just got a little choppy, even up to now. Right. We got a lot of choppiness right now on Google based on the volume and even looking at the candles. Right. Again, as a reminder, those hollow candles are always going to be bullish. Even if you're using an indicator that may change the colors of your candles, I think this information will be helpful to you. Okay. So I'm not going to give you guys a whole bunch, but I'm going to give you enough to be dangerous today. All right. So one other thing that I really like to use is the red E market structure. All right. So some people may have said, "Hey, I can't find this indicator. I can't find that." So you can simply go to Trading View and type in Rogers 1906. It should pull up all of my scripts that are open. Okay. And it's the red E Market Structure Pro V2. All right. So that's the name of the indicator. Since it is one of my scripts here, I'm just simply going to click on it. And I just updated this indicator today. All right. Even though I have it here already, all of this stuff, I just wanted to make sure I do it fresh so you can see it. So let's actually go right to the settings on this indicator because I do believe that this is really helpful for whatever you like to trade. And it has a low time frame mode. So if you're trading less than the 5 minutes, say the 2 minute, or even if you're trading 45-second, 15-second, 10-second, for you futures traders, I know you can choose low time frame mode. Okay. But I'm going to show you how I use it, and you can play with it for yourself when you go to your phone or computer and go from there. All right. So I always like to show the pre-market high and low. When you think about the pre-market high and low, if it breaks that pre-market high or if it falls below that pre-market low, then you know you have a potential trend that you can follow. Okay. So of course, the obvious is calls if it breaks the pre-market high, and puts if it goes before the pre-market low. Just something to think about. I also have it to where it will show those pre-market labels. All right. I can make them small, large, whatever I need. Okay. So I'm just going to do normal in this case. Okay. Also, the open range breakout. Now, I have the starting time for 9:30. I have because my trading view is set on Eastern Standard Time. But I also have it set to my for my open range duration to be 15 minutes. I could change it to 35 or whatever I need. Okay. Now, a lot of times, once the market is open, I can keep this open, but just because I don't like clutter, I'll turn it off. Okay. Simply because I may have my levels already mapped or I know what I want to do and just trade the candles. So you may decide you want to turn it off. You could change the colors, do whatever you want to do. Okay. Also, the gap detection is in here as well. So sometimes if there's a gap, it'll automatically show a box for you. Also, gamma ranges are on here. I turn that off again. I just don't like a lot of noise, right? But here's something unique that I added to the red E market structure for you guys is the point of control line. All right. So on this one, I like to make my width 5, the highest one possible on here. I also have the look back of 50 bars. I could change it to 20, just make it shorter so you can make those quick executions with your point of control. All right. And then, of course, we're going to slide down here. I want to show the pivot points. I'm going to check that. Okay. Pivot label size. I just keep it normal. All right. Also, just sliding down here, I have it to where it only shows 2 trend lines. I can make them dash or solid. I like to keep it solid. And then, of course, the thicker, the better for me, because once you hit 40, you got all this other kind of stuff going on. I need to be able to see clearly what's what. Now, you could also change the color of your bullish trend line or your bearish trend line. So if I wanted this to coincide with my volume, for example, I could do baby blue. And then I could do the purple for my bearish, right? So that way they kind of coincide with that. But I want to be able to see everything. All right. Now, RSI, I keep the length at 14, overbought at 70, oversold at 30. Some of you may use an ultimate RSI by another person. You may have your RSI 80 and 20, have to be careful. So it's up to you if you want to change those. But the ready market structure will show you the relative strength, so you don't have to go and open those oscillators all the time. Okay. All right. So you can go over here and turn on require volume confirmation on your signals for your buy and sell. But also within the buying and selling here, there's a ribbon, which I'll show you here once we get out of the settings, that shows you the buy momentum and the sell momentum. Okay. It also shows you entry signals. And if you come down here, these are your take profit settings. You can modify these as you want. But I'm going to slide down to the EMAs, also known as exponential moving averages, or some people may call it as exact moving averages. If you go all the way back to the old days when we talked about the flawless trading system, we used to roll heavy on the MACD. We used to roll heavy on exponential moving averages, looking at the 10 and the 20 EMA, right? In this case, we kind of graduated a little bit. We shortened that EMA to the 9 for our fastest EMA, and then the 21. And of course, we also want to always kind of include the 50 exponential moving average. And as an option, you can include the 200-day exponential moving average. Just again, because I don't want a lot of clutter, I'm going to uncheck my 200-day EMA. I'm also going to make my 9 EMA thick, right? And I'm going to make my 21 EMA thick. All right, I'm going to keep them at the default colors. Except for my 50 EMA, I'm going to go with hot pink, and then I'm going to make that thick as well. All right. Now I'm going to slide down here as far as the EMA ribbon is concerned, which is what I'm utilizing for my buy and sell signals. I keep my buy as teal and my bearish as purple, trying to keep everything consistent. Okay. My ribbon opacity is at 70, so it's not drowning anything out. I can still see it, but it's not too messy, right? Also, we have this dashboard in the bottom right-hand corner. This is the multi-time frame dashboard. You could change it to different time frames you like to look at. So say, for example, for me, I might want to look at the 6-minute, the 10-minute, and the 78-minute all at once. Okay. So I look at this as somewhat as time frame continuity. So I can see those intraday time frames for day trading, or if I were swing trading a particular stock, I can see those there. Also, I can modify the size of this and make it huge so that way I don't miss it. Or if you just want to keep it normal, that's fine. Okay. The Fibonacci's are actually coded into this indicator. And I don't turn them on because it gets, again, very cluttered. So I'm just going to uncheck that box. I keep it unchecked as the default setting. But the fibs are there, and the look back period is 30, right? Now, in the upper right-hand corner, you have your main dashboard. This is probably one of the most important tools of this indicator, but it helps me be able to see what I need to see, right? So I have it in the top right corner. I don't really change the colors or anything like that. You can. And then I just kind of make it a little bit bigger so I can see. And lastly, the strat. So you're going to learn the strat real quick. I'm doing all of this in one lesson, and I will make sure that I post this also for you, those of you who might be on Instagram watching this. So the strat, I'm going to turn in show the strat labels. All right, this is very important because it helps me still see the trend and what's actually going to happen. So let's talk about the strat real quick while we're here. All right, so one is an inside candle. I've always taught every mentee that I've ever had is you don't trade on a 1. Okay. Now your 3 is going to be a change of the trend in most cases. And your two actually shows you the direction. So I have your one, your two, and your three. One, we don't trade. Two tells us where it's going. Three tells us it's about to change. Okay. So you have these colors that coincide with that. One, I just keep as yellow. The font is white. So just be mindful that if you do change the color, you need to be able to see the font. So the upside color is green, but I can change that again to that baby blue. And the downside color is purple, is what I'm going to change it to. The three is pink right now. And I'm just going to make it a hot pink just so we can see those threes a little bit more clearly. All right. I think the three is the only one that shows up as black font. I don't know why it does that, but that's what it does. Now, if you want to have order blocks show up, which clutters the screen, just check this box. I personally just don't do it because, again, I just want my chart to be a little clean. Okay. Also, there's a watermark down there that says red E market structure. But I just put it at one. So now we had a whole setup. So right now I'm looking at Google, and truthfully, I'm actually in some calls on Google that we signaled in the red E today. All right. So I'm on this 10-minute time frame. I'm gonna slide on down to this 2-minute, which is what I really like to look at most times if I'm day trading. And I see everything that we just talked about. We talked about the volume. I've got the hollow candles here. And I got this baby blue color, right? So if the candle is baby blue using the red E market structure, it is a buy candle. All right. If it's a royal blue, it is a strong buy candle. If it is green, it is a weak buy candle. If the candle is white, it may have a red box or a green box on it, but it's neutral. All right. If the candle goes to yellow, it is a weak sell. If it goes to orange, it is a sell. If it goes to red, it is a strong sell. So right now, looking at Google on this 2-minute time frame, we do have a buy candle, 60% buying from the volume delta. It is bullish, tells us we have a higher high, and the point of control where the trend changes is at 314.14. It's important to see that point of control because it allows us to see kind of what to expect as far as if it goes above or below this level. I also have a point of control indicator, but I wanted to make sure that I had this coded into the ready market structure as well. Also, I'm seeing a lot of bullish confluence here with my 6-minute, my 10-minute, and my 78-minute time frame for Google. All right. So now also looking at the strat, right? The strat has a two up, a two down, and here's a one, an inside candle. So I need to wait and see what happens based on this current candle before I make a decision to get in or even get out. All right. Also, I love the fact that I can see the highs and the lows. So here, Google had a high. You can probably barely see it, especially if you're on Instagram. Right there at 314.38 that we broke. So I'll draw me a little line right here, right? And then also it shows me a low right here at 314.04. So once I see a break above these lines, right, I know that, okay, I can be confident for a call, confident for a put. And I also still can see it on multiple time frames. Okay. Now notice I just jumped to that 78-minute time frame. We got a hollow royal blue candle. That means it is a very strong buy signal based on this indicator. All right. So I like the fact that, hey, Google is pushing up. I still would be very careful about the type of option that I choose, and that type of data. You need to join the Ready Society so we can talk about that a little bit more in our mentorship program that we have continued to do year after year. Now, let's also talk about one more thing. Let's talk about this ribbon right here. Because also this indicator does have buy and sell signals. And one thing that we wanted to modify when we redid this indicator is the amount of clutter that you can get from this indicator. So there was like frequent buy signals that came back to back to back to back, or sell signals that were back to back to back. So we decreased the frequency of that and included a ribbon So that way you could see the trend. So here's the bullish trend, right, that we're seeing on Google with the buy signal. Now, if we go back and just look at some different type of things, let's go to the 4-hour time frame here. Here's that purple showing the sell signal, and we can see where we formed a golden cross on Monday for Google to the upside, and we're now breaking out of this bearish trend line. Okay, but all in all, this is not financial advice. The indicator does work in various situations, but as always, you need to make sure that you practice risk management. But the last thing I wanted to tell you about risk management when it comes down to the Red E market structure, which again is completely free. So you pay nothing for it. There's no catch, no requirement for you to be a member of the Red E Society. However, we would love to have you come and be a part of our family. Is that it shows you the target prices, and it does change based on the trend. So currently, as you can see, Google is in an uptrend. The target price, the second one was 314.14. It also gives you a risk to reward ratio here of it hitting the third target price, which happens to be 315.30. I actually had an alert set here earlier when we were live trading in the Red E Society. So this indicator is really dope. It will help you um, practice risk management better, even with a stop loss, as well as seeing your target prices, so you don't have to go and draw those levels out. But what if you don't have TradingView? And I think this is available for free for the non-paid members of TradingView. I'm not really sure, but let's just say you didn't have TradingView or the paid subscription. So let's just turn off. I'm going to just delete this. So let's just say you didn't have it. And a lot of times, what I like to do, and I think I'm giving away a lot right here, is I come to the 78-minute or the 4-hour time frame and start mapping levels. I like to look left and see what happened the last time. So I see a trend changed right here back on December the 11th for Google, and it almost looks like it's forming a cup, but also it looks like a V-shaped recovery. So just looking at this right out the gate with my hollow candles based on the 4-hour time frame, I can see right now we got hollow candles, which is bullish, and we need to break and have a candle close above 315.08. Also, I want to look, okay, looking left again, where was the last level of support? Where did we have a lot of stability? Where was it trading sideways? So looking left, I see all the way back to, there's Google breaking my level, going all the way back to, what date is this? December the 8th. It's my dad's birthday. So December 8th, and then I see again another date here, and then here is another one, December 11th. There's a lot of support right here. So I'll draw a little line here of support by looking left. So I'll say that if this thing drops, my stop loss needs to be around 312.09 if I'm day trading this. This was a new candle that came out, so I would even look at the pre-market levels here to set a level as a potential support as well. So I'll say below 313.70, I might want to buy puts, and my target would be 312.09. But above 315.08, I'm perfectly comfortable swinging calls or getting in a possible day trade. All right. Again, it's looking at the 4-hour time frame. Now, if I slide on down to the sweet spot, we'll call it just a 2-minute time frame. We broke that 313.70. Now I can use that 315.08 as my potential upside target because I zoomed out. Now you can also map any level on any time frame. I use a shortcut key, but if you're trying to find out how to do this, the lines are over to the left side of your screen. All right. So I can come over here and do a horizontal line, put a start by, add as my favorites, and everything I need is right here. All right. So right now, I just want to see Google keep moving, stand in this trend, break out of that 314.71 and go up to that 315.08. And that's just typically what I personally like to look at. So I'm gonna delete some of this stuff that I just added with you guys. But just these are just a few things, like I said, that I like to use, and I felt like just doing something for Christmas, right? Bringing a little bit of wisdom to you guys. I haven't been going live a lot, but man, things like this are beautiful, man. So I want to take this moment to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. And I'm sure I'll probably be back on here at some point I haven't been going live a lot at all, but I have been locked in with the Red E Society. And you should definitely consider locking in with us as well. Slide on over to www.rogers1906.com, and you can join the Red E Society. Use discount code Trading Gems. Hit join the Red E Society. Go down to the code. Once you subscribe or whatever, we'll just click subscribe, and then just type in Trading Gems, all together, one word, and boom. All right. Nice little discount for you. So we love to have you come and be a part of this community. Also, the link to the Red E market structure, the indicator that I just showed you, is also on my website. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's keep this thing growing, keep this thing going, and keep teaching people how to make profits based on what they see on the charts in TradingView. And as always, we're going to keep God first and secure the bag. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Okay. It's us.